Yes, hi. So today is April 20, I think, 2026. Yeah, this is not actually a demo, like, this is just a series of observations, I guess. But I want to record just in general, just so I don't forget, because I will forget. So this just happened. I came to. I described this in one of the demos before. There is this store that sells used electronics, like computers, and I mean, there's a bunch of stuff, right? It's like a pawn shop, but for electronics. And they have, like very old stuff, things that would be like 20 years old. Before the Chinese did all this, right? So I came here to buy a couple of things, a computer, like an old computer, and a couple of old monitors, because, like they have the hardware, these HP computers that I bought at Micro Center are heavily bugged at the, at the motherboard level. So, even if I install different OS, like it doesn't matter what I do, like, they have a tremendous advantage. And the monitors are bugged too. So they basically can take snapshots of my screen and certain frequencies, right? So when I arrived there, and 2 seconds after me, a Venezuelan guy, I think he's Venezuelan, he arrived 5 seconds after me. And he was following me, right? And I know this because he has followed me multiple times. I recognize him. Like that guy I've seen at least a dozen times in the last 6 months. So, and I don't know, I didn't speak to him, but I look at him and he looks a little bit like me. Like, I think he's Venezuelan. But anyhow, the thing is that I changed vehicles this morning, right? So now I'm driving the Suburban because the Suburban is older and it doesn't have these taillights or LED-based headlamps that they put in the vehicles these days. I mean, the Chinese, right? That's how they communicate that is how they send data between vehicles. Because the taillights that are integrated now, like these are devices that you cannot replace yourself. Like if they get damaged, you have to take it to the dealership. Precisely because they have a lot of intelligence and engineering inside of those machines, right? So those taillights and those headlamps is the way that the cars send infrared in between each other. So, and this is not specific to my car. Like, many cars have these capabilities, not all of them, but like many cars have these capabilities, and they just turn it off or on depending on whether the vehicle is occupied by a target or not, right? That's what so the vehicles are enabled, or are capable, but they have to enable them by software, right? And they do this with a cell phone, like remotely at short range. Like, don't think that they have to take it to the dealership to enable it, right? Now, because I know this, I switched vehicles because this vehicle is 2011, and the lamps, I mean the headlamps and the tail lights are based on incandescent bulbs, so they don't have the capability of transmitting any infrared. So they can do anything, right? So when I'm in this vehicle, they have to follow me. They have to follow me visually. I mean, manually, right? I mean, they're still with an app, but they have to update the app to tell the app he's passing over here, right? It's not as an efficient system as the car, as exfiltrating telemetry from the car, getting information about, the speed of travel, the direction, they can get everything, right, with the infrared. But now they have to observe where I'm traveling, right? So this leads to a loss in precision. And this loss in precision now allows me to get to the place I'm going before the agents. So when the agents arrive, I can see them. Right? So the biggest weapon they have is the advantage in time. I can tell you that, like, because if they arrive to a place before you do, you have no way of telling, who is following you, right? But if they arrive before you, well, the people that were there before, so the organic people, and the people that arrive after. So, it's easy to identify the ones that might be following you, right? So anyhow, in this incident, I recorded this guy that was following me. He was driving a very expensive car. I think it was a Hummer or something like that. Or I don't know. It was a very expensive SUV. And he has followed me in other vehicles before. But anyhow, so what I did, he got into the Sherwin-Williams store, which is next door to the place where I was going. So what I did, I got into the store, and of course I took my phone out and I started recording, and like the same thing that, I mean, I didn't harass him or anything, but the same thing that they do, right? I had my phone out in my hand, and the phone was recording, and he got recorded. So now I have the plate of the car that he was driving, and I have his face, right? So, that's good. Yes, and in this place where I was driving after that, there is a Chinese cultural center / ICC immersion school. Looks like a language immersion school, right? And from there, a Jeep came out that was also following me, and the plate was Whiskey January, and I can't recall the numbers. I have them in my camera system here. But the interesting thing is that like 5 minutes after that, another vehicle with the same prefix, Whiskey January, started following me again, but a different vehicle, right? Like 50 feet away from this Chinese school. And the plate of that one, I think it was Whiskey January 8777. And I remember because it had the trigram 777, which I associated with the Chinese because of the 7, right? So I don't know, it occurred to me to maybe look up in the system that I have whether there might be correlation between, vehicles with the bigram 77 and houses registered to Chinese agents. It could be, maybe it's a thing, right? I don't know. So just wanted to put that in here.